This is the 2015 Lincoln Navigator. Starts at about $60,000, and if you get it fully loaded, about $80,000. And coming up next on the Fast Lane car, almost everything you ever wanted to know about the new Navigator. What's your title?
Chief Engineer of the Lincoln Navigator.
You're an engineer.
Yes.
I'm impressed. We've got the big chief over here telling us about this Navigator. So first of all, obviously it's a 2015. It's got the new Lincoln wing.
Yes.
It looks much more modern, much more elegant actually. What are some of the differences that are not just exterior but underneath the skin as well?
So under the hood we put the 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6 married to a 6R transmission, and it has the Lincoln Select Shift. And what that means is you can shift down into a sport mode. You can toggle up and down to get a more connected driving experience. But what's really cool about the 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6, we're delivering 380 horsepower and 460 foot-pounds of torque. Now, more specifically, when you get into the torque curve, and you talk about the torque curve, we really hit our peak torque at about 2,250 RPM.
Yep.
And what that really means is when you're driving the vehicle, customers driving the vehicle, they're really feeling that power on demand. When they tip in on the accelerator pedal, they're really feeling that immediate, powerful response, which is what you're looking for. And about 80% of a customer's driving patterns are really in that range. So that's very meaningful as well.
Yeah, I remember the old, was it the 5.4, right?
Yes.
That's been around a long time. I think that had 100 less horsepower, is that right?
Yeah, it was 310 horsepower.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yes, quite a bit less.
But a lot less. And coming from Colorado, it's nice to have EcoBoost, obviously.
Absolutely.
You got those dual turbos feeding the engine. Now, do you think customers will be disappointed that there isn't an 8-cylinder option? Here's the thing, it's about delivery of the numbers. Yeah.
And one of the other numbers we haven't talked about is for the 4x2 short wheelbase, we're delivering best-in-class fuel economy of 60 mile per gallon in the city and 22 mile per gallon on the highway for a combined 18 mile per gallon. When you think about towing capability, it's delivering best-in-class towing capability at 9,000 pounds. When you think about those kinds of things and the ride experience, it's got an independent rear suspension, and so it's delivering the smoothness of the ride as well as great spaciousness on the interior. All
right, since you're an engineer, I'm going to give you the hard question.
Okay.
Because I just reviewed the Expedition, and that, I believe, had a 9,500 towing capability, so it's 500 more. Do you know why that is? Is there more weight in this vehicle?
The vehicles do weigh differently, and of course that's option dependent and what we put into the vehicle. And we talked about the continuously controlled damping, which is a selectable suspension. You can pick normal, comfort, or sport mode, which is in quite a big percentage of our volume as an example.
Plus you're rolling on 22s here.
Yes, yes. Well, the 22s are standard with our reserve package, and you can also get them as a freestanding option.
Tell me about the reserve package. It sounds good. What does it mean?
Well, what it means is you do get the continuously controlled damping with the 22-inch, and you also get, can we walk around to the interior?
Of course, yeah. Yeah, come on around.
Now, just as you notice on site, it also has the lower side accent on the reserve as well. So it's a dark tuxedo black lower that goes all the way around the front and the rear of the vehicle.
Very elegant.
The interest, if you come into the, I would love to invite you into my home. The reserve also has a hand-wrapped and stitched leather instrument panel that in the touch, the smell, the feel of it, and the artistry of it, because it truly is hand-wrapped, along with the leather on the door trim and the console and the glove box and the knee bolster, bringing that luxury and crafted appearance and the feel of it as well. So you've got the two-tone appearance, which is Reserve as well, which is bringing that sort of extra beauty to it. It's also got a unique Zirconi wood. And the interesting thing about the Zirconi is it's only found in parts of Mexico and Central America. And it is actually used on high-end yacht building and guitars because of the striation and the beauty of the wood.
Now, I notice you also have secondary controls for the touchscreen infotainment system, right? Is that something your customers wanted?
Yes. This is the second generation of the MyTouch, and the customers gave us feedback about wanting the knobs, wanting the mechanical controls, and really wanting to have that tactile interaction with the My Lincoln Touch Driver Connect technology.
Well, obviously some of your competitors are the GM products, right? The Yukon, the Escalade, and this, unlike those vehicles, has independent rear suspension,
yes,
right?
Yes, it does.
And what benefits does that give you besides ride quality, I suspect?
It absolutely gives you the smoothness of ride, but here's the interesting thing. When we developed the independent rear suspension, we developed it where we were able to put the half shaft through a portal in the frame. And the long and the short of that is by doing that, sort of taking up the two functions in that similar space, we were able to deliver a third row legroom that's truly adult accommodating. If you think about when you sit and your knees are right up in your chin, that's not happening here. You can sit in a very comfortable driving position. It's actually got best-in-class third row legroom, and it also has a true fold flat rear load floor.
I saw that. There's no
bump, there's no big angle, and the thing about that is that you're able to load your cargo, use the vehicle in a way that you or families would want to use the vehicle. And we also have with that the best-in-class cargo area.
I also noticed one of the differences, obviously, is the use of LEDs.
Yes.
You said 220?
222.
220.
So,
220.
to be very specific.
Yes.
So on the exterior,
He's the engineer.
on the exterior lighting of the vehicle, for both the front and the rear lighting, we wanted to make sure that as we're using our LEDs, as we're giving its jewelry, that we did whatever it took to deliver that beautiful jewelry feature for the customer. And you know, it's a larger vehicle, and we wanted to look harmonious and beautiful, and the number ended up being kind of a larger number, but whatever it took, because it's a Navigator.
Yeah, and you guys kind of created this segment, right? This is the oldest vehicle in this class. So back, what was 20 years ago now?
It's about 17 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And we sold, I believe, about 400,000 units since we started Nav.
All right, here's the softball question for you. What's your favorite part of the new Navigator?
Wow, it's like, what's the favorite part of my child? You know?
I know.
Because so there's a couple things.
Yeah.
It's the ride and the driving experience is amazing. And the quietness, because we've added over 100 actions for quietness, and what we've done with the looks, the appearance, and the craftsmanship. You have to really mold those into one thing, because what is the customer wants the beauty, but they also want the power and the capability. So that's my favorite part.
And of course, it's more expensive than the outgoing model, about $6,000. So you are getting more, but you are paying more.
Well, you know, we feel that what we've delivered to the customer, which is things that they've said, hey, we are really looking for, we really believe we're providing a great luxury and a value equation for the customer.
And do you think most of the customers in this class use it for towing? Is that something that's important?
Some people use it for towing, but listen, it's about using the vehicle. It's a family vehicle.
Yeah.
It's got the great capability. Yeah. Whatever your hobby is, you can tow with it, and it's got the best-in-class towing, and it's got the great spaciousness.
And there are two models, right? There's this one, there's a long version.
That's correct.
And the difference being, obviously, you get a lot more room.
Yeah, it's like 119 versus 131 inches, yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty significant. Pretty
significant separation.
Yeah. And this, of course, seats 7, but there's also an 8 passenger, is that right?
Because you have not charged, but you have the option in the second row to have the 2 buckets with a pass-through, the console, or the bench seating.
So if you want full 8 people, you can do that.
Yes.
All right, and when do you get yours?
Mine is on order.
All right.
And it is coming shortly.
All right.
And I'm excited.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
One more question, maybe?
Yeah.
We got somebody waiting. Compared to vehicles, what vehicles did you consider for competition?
The competitive set is including the Cadillac Escalade and the Infiniti QX80 primarily.
Okay. Yeah. Not the Yukon, huh?
This is a luxury vehicle,
chain,
so yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you.
All right, thanks you guys.
Obviously, the chief engineer for the Navigator is very enthusiastic about her baby. She says it competes with the Escalade, the Infiniti QX80. I think it'll actually compete with the Yukon Denali. All those vehicles, well, we'd love to test them up in Colorado to see how they compare to this. So you'll have to come back for those reviews. As always, this is Roman reporting for the Fast Lane Car. Check out TFLcar.com for more news, views, and real-world reviews. Ciao! Hey guys, do you like TFL Car? Do you want to know what it takes to review a vehicle like this? If so, please click on the link below and support TFL with $2, $5, or $10 or less. And when you do, you will have exclusive access to behind-the-scenes videos that detail how we do these things. Things like, well, let's see, me crashing a drone. You want to see that? Please subscribe below. Thank you very much. We really appreciate your support.